Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf. I am beyond excited that we are live today. I'm here with JC Carbonell and his caddy, Derek Brining. And today, oh my gosh, we have a great show for you. So, JC and Derek, welcome. And let's start talking a little bit about golf.
Yeah, that's what everybody's here for. Let's get right into it. My name's JC Carbonell. I'm a pro golfer from Brooklyn, New York. This is my caddy, Derek Brining. He's going to be going to his first full season with me this year, so getting to break him in, a little bit of hazing. So we're going to have fun today. Hopefully we're going to help a lot of people today with playing golf longer in the life, recovering from injuries because we all get them. I'm really excited because I am one of those people. I recovered from a major injury that I was told I would not recover from. I was told I wouldn't play golf again, and I didn't listen. And because of it, here we are on JT Golf and Fitness with Janis.
Okay, JC, let's talk about tell us a little bit about your injuries. And recently you've had a current hip injury as well.
Yeah, the hip injury has been it's one of those ones, most people would say, oh, you're getting a little older or whatever, but it's not the case. It's that I ramped up my exercise more. I did some new things and my body reacted in a negative way to them. And that's kind of the only way I've ever been able to learn my body. I think all of us kind of have to put ourselves to the test if we're going to be athletic. So I really tried to push it, doing in-place running on a trampoline, a small personal trampoline. And I guess the difference of walking, which is my normal training like that, the pressure up and down in my right hip got really bad and the pain got unbearable to swing through. So we missed the second half of this season, and it sucks. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to even miss a week of golf. Nobody wants to miss the Tuesday night money game for 50 cents, much less a whole season of your livelihood. But yeah, that's the current one I'm fighting through, which you're going to help me with some of that recovery because you're awesome. The major injury was 10 years ago, a week ago and 10 years ago, I got run over by a car in New York City. I was walking across the street. I was looking at a really beautiful BMW of that year. I hadn't seen the car yet, and crossing, it's my light. I had the walk sign. I turn and look the other way, and there's a Jeep Liberty, and I'm in its windshield. And I woke up needing an entire knee replacement, my entire left knee, ACL, MCL, medial meniscus, and my lower spine pelvic connection was, I guess, altered is a good word for it. And I was told, hey, there's going to be no more professional golf. Like playing with your kids might be a struggle. You're definitely not going to walk normally. The injury basically is going to make it that your left leg will stay mostly straight. And I was like, well, hey, I'm JC. You guys have never met me before, but on Thanksgiving, I'm going to play golf with my dad and my son. And this was December of that year. It happened December 5th, 2013. And I told him by Thanksgiving I was going to play golf. And on November 18th, I walked Bethpage Black, one of the hilliest courses in New York, a U.S. Open course. And I walked it and I finished the round. It took me 6 hours and 10 minutes. It was the best slow round of my life. But at the end of that round, my buddy, who's still back in New York, his name's Matt. He doesn't want me to mention his full name. But my buddy Matt took a photo of me. And through the photo and a story, what it was like to watch me recover. And I feel like if I could tell my story and his accounts, we're going to help millions of people. So, yes.
And that's what we want, though, is for people to understand, sure, you can get injured. But when you have the right mindset, holy cow, you can recover. It may not be as quickly as you would like it to be. At the same time, you can. Because when you focus on all the things that you can do, and if you only focus on things you can't do, then you're screwed, basically. But when you start focusing on even the little things, I don't care what that little thing is. Maybe it's that you can still do bicep curls or shoulder presses, or you can work your other leg. Do that because you can do that, and it's going to help you stay strong to fight through any kind of injury and recovery.
Absolutely. And we have so much help with recovery nowadays, don't we?
Oh, we have tons of help with recovery these days, for sure. So when it comes to your post-round recovery, what are you doing these days?
So I'm gonna do my Vanna White moment, right? So organic protein is like the base root of my recovery. I get my shake in the anabolic window 20 minutes before I'm done with my workout, never more than 20 minutes after I'm done. I really make sure I fit it in. Coming up right to the end of my workout, I find out that's what's worked best for me. So I put the Orgain shake, and then look, and by the way, none of these products pay me. I just use them. I'm going to be honest. Like, this creatine glutamine powder does not taste good, and I don't care. All right, it doesn't have to taste good. Sorry, I'm the honest spokesperson. It doesn't taste good, but I mix it in with my protein powder. That shake is a massive part of my recovery. Another thing I have to do is make sure that I continuously work the movement in my legs after a round. I don't lay down or become immobile in my legs. I do a lot of the ankle twisting. If you ever, sitting there, you just lift your foot off the floor and run a little ankle twisting around with your knees back and forth. If you're forced to sit, some people like to stay on their feet. Some golfers I play with say they don't like to sit down for a couple hours, even after a round. You go from 4 hours of walking and swinging to an immediate stop. Sometimes that adds to the aches and pains and the length of recovery. Then there's your ice bath nut jobs. I love you guys. Yeah. Sorry, ice bath nut jobs. I gave it a whirl. I do cold showers for recovery, but yeah, I'm not with the ice bath yet. I don't think anybody's going to convince me. Janice, you're not going to try, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. So I live here in Arizona, and my pool in May is usually around 75 degrees, and that's a bit too cold for me to even get into. I'm more of it needs to be 85 degrees for me to even get in. So for me to get into an ice bath, yeah, most likely it's not going to happen.
Not my thing at all. However, the people who are trying to convince me of it, Janice, are athletes that are 10 and 15 years ahead of me right now. So I'm about to be 43 on January 1st. People I'm talking to are in their mid-50s, and they know my dream of winning the U.S. Senior Open. So they're trying to pour value into me, telling me about the ice bath when I get into my 50s. But I explain to them that I do things now so I can avoid the ice bath in my 50s. That's kind of my approach to it, right? I feel like if I'm to that point where my body feels good when I wake up, like I know I worked out yesterday and I know I'm beating yesterday's version of myself, but when I wake up, I feel good that I found my zone. I've worked with professional trainers from New York City to Los Angeles and online, and everybody has a way of teaching you what to do, but until you feel your best when you wake up and you go to sleep knowing you put in some work that day, right, guys? We have to feel a little pain for gain, right? No matter what age we are. But you still want to go comfortably knowing that your body's going to get that recovery. I know we'll talk about REM sleep a little bit later in this, but it's important that people get their rest and recovery because Jack Nicklaus put it best in his book when he was in his 40s. He said, I could walk faster if they said I played slow, but I couldn't recover faster than I could 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Very smart comment,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's sorry, not that kind of, but to get there about being in our 50s. And I know you had asked me this question off camera, what I do different when I teach people that are a little older rather than younger. And I ask for a commitment, honestly, because I'm committing to it into my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, that I will never give up my God-given ability to go walking. To go walking a couple hours, whether it be an hour a day in the morning, then again in the evening, whether it be walking, a committed walk at a certain time every day that helps your thoughts, whatever it is. We just can't give up that God-given ability to walk because some people, it's been taken from them. And I know what that's like, and I know what it's like to be able to get it back, and I know there's people who can't, and I know it's easy to take for granted.
Absolutely. It is very easy to take for granted if people just say walking is so easy. However, until you hurt your foot, hurt your ankle, hurt your toe, right now my husband's dealing with some heel spurs and he hasn't been able to walk playing golf in a couple of months now. And of course, again, we're in Arizona. This is walking season. And he just can't wait to be able to finally get back out there and actually walk the course. And it's such a big difference in your golf game anyway, I think, to be able to walk versus ride in a cart. I'd much rather walk and be able to play the game instead of ride in a cart, unless it's 110, then I'll ride. But other than that,
strategy and camaraderie are two things that shouldn't happen fast in golf. So if we have more time between shots, we have more time for both of those things, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I always say walking gives you more time between shots. You don't have to rush. People feel rushed. I explain to my students not to, know how to keep proper pace with whatever the course expects of you. Every course is different.
Yep.
Right? You can find your sweet spot course that's okay with 4 hours and 45 minutes. Some want 4 hours, whatever. But the key is that you find your place where you can go and walk. And it's so important. Like you were just mentioning about ankle injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had an ankle injury where I literally got saved by the caddy, right? And who better to ask when you have an ankle injury and you're playing around like, hey, what do you do that makes it easier on you that you walk? Because, I mean, he walks the course when I don't have to. He's got measuring rounds, distance rounds. Like he's walking the course probably 2 or 3 times more a week than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you better ask? And he made a great point when he asked me. He said, if you want to be able to walk strong every day, walk every day, right? So go ahead, tell him.
Yeah, as a caddy, that's the most important thing I can do no matter what the weather's like. I walk every day, and I walk a lot. And, don't consider a 20-minute workout and walk like that. That's not a workout. A 20-minute walk is just the minimal amount of your walking per day. Honestly, you should be doing at least 2,000 steps as a caddy. That's your minimum. If I don't do 2,000 steps in a day, I've failed.
So honestly, Derek, I'm bumping you way up because especially if you're a caddy, if you're someone who wants to walk for golf, you are actually walking anywhere from 5 to 7 miles around, and sometimes 9. Because when my husband and I played Erin Hills, it was that was a 9-mile walk for us that day. And so if
not straight either,
or flat. And the thing to remember, though, is like if you are going to be walking for golf, you need to be doing at least 8,000 to 10,000 steps to be able to maintain, for you to actually be able to play that round of golf and be able to finish strong on your last 4 or 5 holes. If you're walking 2,000 steps a day, you're walking probably not even 1 mile to 2 miles a day, and that's not even the front 9. And you're not going to finish strong.
Okay, I'm going to tell you just where we got the idea from. And I don't know if it's challengeable, if the almighty Tiger Woods, because he explained that at 41, that if you were walking the full amount that you have to walk in a round every day, your length in time could be lessened by it. So he likes to walk 20%, right? He walks 4 or 5 out of his 9 holes every day. That's his minimum, though. And I'm sure Tiger's also running on the treadmill and doing all of that stuff too to replace it. So I guess to clear that up, I work out. All right? So if I'm working out and I'm doing a mile brisk walk that I can fit in the morning before I have to work, I guess that's what we try to tell people, to make sure it's your minimum, just to get you out there. Like don't miss on it. But yes, 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day is pretty much what we'll do on a strategy walk. So
no, and exactly, because I know when I do, because this is my time to walk, and when I walk, it's closer to 16,000 to 18,000 steps when I walk. So if someone's really getting 8,000 to 10,000 steps in a day, they're getting close to 50%. But the problem is, if you start telling people 2,000 steps a day, they're going to do 1,000 steps in a day.
See, the fitness lady knows best. Yes. See, she knows everybody's tricks and goals.
Good point.
We have to give them a little bit more to get after, and they're actually going to feel better if they do those 8,000 to 10,000 steps in a day. You're sitting a lot in a day if you're only getting in 2,000 steps in a day. But if you do it all at once, that's good. But then you still have to be mindful of what you're doing during the rest of the day. You want to make sure that you're still up and about every hour away from your desk type of thing also.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a think walk all the time, pretty much. It just comes up when I need it. I'm sure everybody got a thing with. Sometimes you just zone out and people are like, well, he's not here anymore. For me, I go for a walk when those moments happen. It helps me out a lot. And as you probably see behind us, this is still my inspiration. I mean, Tiger won a U.S. Open on a broken leg, so I don't have any excuses. I watch this 2008 U.S. Open in the background of days whenever I need to feel inspired. And just 2 weeks ago, my buddy Brian Fox back in New York said to me, "You watch that Tiger video all the time. Why don't you put your story on video so people can watch you recover all the time?" And I was like, nah. But
that's a fun challenge.
He is the guy who carried my wheelchair down. I don't know if people know what I mean when I say a front stoop. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have 6 steps in the front of our houses that lead down to the street called the stoop. And he carried me down and up the stoop for 4 months in a wheelchair. So,
oh my gosh,
I guess I owe him a little something. I told him I'd tell my story a little more.
yeah, you definitely needed to keep telling your story for sure. So when you talk to golfers though who are older, like what's the best golf tip you can give that person to really help change their game?
You know, everybody hates when I give them this answer up front, so I have a good explanation to back it up. But honestly, my answer is you have to enjoy playing the game more. You have to stop frustrating yourself. Everybody does it. I maybe have met 4 people in life that don't press themselves at golf. They're just happy-go-lucky with whatever happens with every shot. I don't understand that because I play for a living. I absolutely need to hit the ball well, or we're going to have a talk one-on-one. I'm going to confront myself. So
A lot.
The main tip that I say is that when I do say that you have to have more fun or use the word enjoyment or whatever, it all leads to a lower heart rate. You cannot do what I do hitting a golf ball at an 89, 95, 102 heart rate.
Or higher.
Yeah, or higher. It's just not possible. So when people say to me, well, that's not even a golf tip, it absolutely is. Because the pre-shot routine that you can look at for every 5-time major champion or above all have the same approach to their pre-shot routine, and it includes 3 deep breaths and a visualization. Now, anybody who meditates know once you visualize, you are focused on your breath. Okay, and here's the one nobody ever thinks of. Imagine inside your body here, where you've got 2 lungs filled up full of air from you breathing in and squeezing that grip with the white knuckles, right? And you're digging the cleats into the turf, and you try to turn your entire body when everything's tense and full, right? So my number 1 tip for improving your golf swing is I want everybody to settle into the pocket. This is what I do right before I pull the trigger on the golf club, which is I feel my body fall into an athletic but relaxed position. There's no tension in my inner elbows. There's no tension on the side of my knees. And I know a lot of golf coaches will tell you where to look for tension and where you don't want it. I found in all my years, if you try to feel for the sides of your knees and the inside of your elbows, those are the 2 that once they relax, and then when I say relax, don't give me this, pro said I could bend my elbow. That's not what I said. All right, when I said relax, we still maintain the structure. But that breath right before I go, I look at the target, and I actually take my club, my hands forward, so I feel where my hands are going to the target. And then I come back in that last breath. So everything about hitting a good golf shot for me is the repetition I put in to get good at striking the ball, but it can never be executed without proper breathing.
Oh, absolutely agree. And so I play golf with a lot of higher handicap ladies. And just so people on here listening,
The most fun golfers, by the way.
Sometimes they're more competitive than I am. It's kind of scary. And
I ran a line of 9 at Myrtle Beach. People got killed and windows got broken. And it was a massacre, but it was the most fun golf in the evening.
Well, so I am a single digit handicap. So for me, I love that you say get into an athletic stance, because that's what I tell myself each time is just get athletic. Now I do have to load my right leg, and I have to put a little more weight on my inner right, or my trail leg. So I don't sway, because I love to dance with my golf club, and that's my way of not dancing. But so I do love the athletic part. Now I will say this, I do have a ball marker that is a smiley face. It's all blinged out with bling, to remind me to always be happy. though, and this is I'm blessed to be out on this golf course, out in Mother Nature, looking at some beautiful golf courses, hanging out with friends, and I see now I don't get paid to do this. So
yeah, he doesn't either sometimes.
So I can have a little more leeway with that part of not having that talk, but I still, if I hit a bad shot, I'll be like, okay, but I have to let it go because I don't get paid and I need to be happy. I'm hanging out with usually my husband or friends and fun, having a great time. So, but yeah.
And that's something I've always taught as well. Going back to when I had the golf school in Myrtle Beach, and Derek used to say it so much, it's probably annoying now, but I say, you either get paid to play or you pay to play. And if you pay to play, that's your hard-earned money, and you're spending it on entertainment. When entertainment turns to frustration, something's gone awry.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know any other form of entertainment that I've paid for, from going to the movies, even mini golf, skydiving. Like, I don't remember anything that I've been like, wow, this entertainment really becoming frustrating for me. But golf is the one thing that will pay and will pay. Now, I'm going to ask that question to our audience. Maybe we can get some comments later. But like, some people will pay up to $2,500, $3,000 to play a round of golf, and then get frustrated at the score during the round of golf. I played Pinehurst number 2, $500 to get the tee time. I triple bogeyed the first hole and lost the golf ball that I bought from the pro shop that I thought I was going to finish the round with on the first drive. But I got to the second tee box, and my words were exactly this. I was like, this is a beautiful first hole. Let's try that.
Yeah, start over, refresh. No, I agree, because actually my husband's playing in a golf tournament in Pebble Beach next month. Oh. And so I have an opportunity. I could go play Pebble if I choose. However, I'm choosing not to, because I don't want to spend $700-800 to go play.
Have you played it before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. Hold on. You should have led with that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I have played it before, so I'm not choosing to play again. But I will go play probably $250 to play Poppy Hills instead. but I'm not, but again, to get frustrated, I will say when I played Pebble, it was not a fun round. So it was, all of a sudden I got cold because of the fog rolling in. Oh. No offense, Derek, but I didn't like my caddy I had. And it just wasn't the best round for me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I really don't want to have to do that again.
See, that's something I will say is an advantage to having your own caddy. You don't have to get paired up with somebody who might be having a bad day. I've had good experience with caddy shacks around, pretty much anywhere I've been. But I did have the same experience you did one day. We played the ocean course at Kiowa Island 2 days in a row. This was before Derek and I knew each other, but I played there. I had my caddy one day and the house caddy the second day, and the ocean course is 2 golf courses. Like, I know it's 18 holes and it looks like 18 holes, but where it's located and the wind there, it plays 2 totally different golf courses. On day 1, I was hitting drives down the coastline that were going 292, 296 yards. And on the second day, I hit one that went 184 right into a curtain of 45-mile-an-hour wind. And there's no protection for that golf course. There's no real dunes or anything. And it just so happened that on the day that it was, as Tiger would say, conditions were tough out there, I had the worst caddy ever. I mean, this guy told me 155 adjusted on a shot that was 151 in the 30-mile-an-hour wind. I was like, you added 4 yards for this wind?
Yeah. Well, and now that you live in Oklahoma, you know that wind. I grew up playing golf. I should say I learned how to play golf in Oklahoma. So I've learned how to play in wind, which to me is a godsend, because when here in Arizona, they talk that it's windy. It's like 10 miles an hour. Like, it's so windy. Is this a 2-club wind? I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a no-club wind. It's like, this is a gentle breeze.
Yeah, it's a breeze.
I once played, where was that event? Oh man, it was a desert. Oh, it was outside Las Vegas. It was a charity event. I played with my buddy from Los Angeles, and it had been after the first year of being here, playing in 40-mile-an-hour wind almost every day. The tornado season at the beginning, at the end of every. And I had said to him on the first tee there, I said, "You feel that?" And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Nothing." I said, "What a gift." I'm about to play golf, and the ball is going to start where I want it to, and stay there.
It's always a fun thing. So, JC, how often do
Speaking
you
of
think?
gifts, don't let me cut you off. This is a perfect opportunity. I said the word gift. Speaking of
Oh,
gifts, the holiday season, and every golfer has like all the novelty crap, but Janis is like the LinkedIn celebrity for Golf Forever. So tell my audience, all right, what Golf Forever is going to do for them as they get older and play, into the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and my favorite to say is 90s. And hopefully we get a 100-year-old player to comment.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So yeah, I'm ambassador for Golf Forever. I will say the swing trainer, absolutely love it. It is a bar that is about 3 feet long and has resistance usually on one side. So what happens is when you use this product, we work rotational and we work what's called anti-rotational. And obviously in the golf swing, we need to rotate. But we also need to strengthen our core. And when we do what's called anti-rotational exercises, meaning you've got this resistance pulling on one side, and now you got to resist yourself from rotating into that tubing. And now you really get to work your core. What I love about the Golf Forever trainer is that you are also, multiple muscle groups are being worked at the same time when you're using this device. And it's easy. You can put it into a door jamb. It comes with this little device that you attach the carabiners to, but it literally slips into a door, into the door jamb, and you close it, and you have a workout. You can attach the Golf Forever trainer to a golf cart, into your door. Open up your car door. You've got there's a little latch there where your door closes. You can stick the carabiner right there. So this thing is
Now you're talking pro golfers. Go ahead. Continue.
Yes, I mean, it's like there's so many places that you can attach it to your golf bag, really, or your caddy could hang on to it and you could still work out. Like that.
I am a parking lot practitioner. Okay. Derek will tell you I'm a nut job. I have a 5-iron that I don't really care about, and I will hit golf balls off the concrete in the parking lot to get better at striking before, as long as there's a safe place for them to land.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But yeah, I could see myself hooking that up to the car door, no problem. I mean, I'm the one putting one leg up on the back bumper of the car and shaking.
See the looks he gets sometimes.
I'm crazy, but you know what? It takes crazy to have a goal. I'm going to win a U.S. Senior Open in a little under 2,800 days.
Nice.
And so I got to swing from the car door and from the chandelier and everywhere else along the way.
But here's the thing, this trainer is for everybody. You do not even have to be a golfer. So if you're someone watching this and you don't play golf, you still want this swing trainer, because as we get older, we need to be rotating and strengthening in a rotational position. Yep. We are so just forward and backward people that when we even just, I'll hear people like, oh, all I did was turn and I reached for something and I threw out my back. Yeah, it's because you are not practicing any kind of rotational movement at all and strengthening our bodies in that way. And we have to do it. So the swing trainer is for everybody. And what I love about it for the ladies is the bar is actually light. And I think that's a huge advantage. So that way, it travels better. It comes in a great case. But the fact that this bar is lighter, and I like the fact that they have 2 different resistances in the case when you buy it. You have a light resistance and a medium resistance that you can have. And then there's also handles. I mean, there's so much that you can do with this. It is crazy. And actually, I'm going to give myself one other little plug, is I've written a golf fitness course for personal trainers, physical therapists, etc. And I've incorporated the Golf Forever trainer in there because there's so many exercises that you can do with it, that I had to put it into a course for people to really get access to, because, oh my gosh, everyone needs to have this device and be using it. Everyone.
Okay. Being that you said, all right, I'm going to get mine from you. And my birthday coming up on January 1st. So I'm going to tell my audience out there, because they're awesome. I got a lot of stuff here from my audience. You guys are awesome. But I'm going to tell my audience, if you were thinking about something for a birthday gift for me, buy Derek the Golf Forever. So I don't have to do it by myself everywhere we go. And I can have a crazy on the passenger side door. All right.
And use JT Fit Golf as the promo code. So that way you're going to get a nice discount, especially if you're watching this before Christmas, December 25th. Get on there, get it, because you can get some great discounts off.
You get an extra week until my birthday. Okay. Yeah. So buy your golf lover friend a Golf Forever for Christmas, and buy Derek one. And if we get a whole bunch of them, guys, if you guys are that awesome, we're going to take them to the first tee of Oklahoma City and donate them.
Oh, that would be sweet.
All right.
That would be sweet.
Plan for the holidays. Everybody remember to give back, everybody. Don't forget to give back. Whatever you know, go teach it to children. That's what my brand represents. Whatever you know, teach it to kids. Janice, you've told me stuff that I've took to my community center and taught to kids and told them, hey, 50 years from now, if you remember one thing this idiot golfer told you, let it be this. You know, I think your mission is the most noble, like to help people play the games they love later in the life. Like I can't see helping anybody any better than that, because I was told I was not going to play the game I love ever again.
Right.
Getting that back, and all the people that helped me to do that, like we have a lifelong bond. We have a story we're going to tell. We've got a goal that's lofty, that energy in the universe is required to help us happen. So yeah, I would say you just keep doing what you're doing, because if my dad, you know, and I'm not going to get emotional, but if my dad could have played golf a little later in life, like he could have played with us. Like he's still alive and he can't play. He's 74. Like that's not okay with me, but I mean, it's what happened to him. You know, he retired at 65 and he spent 9 years with pretty much no movement.
Oh gosh. So yes, because I'm 56. I'm 56 people. Yeah. And I want everyone to know that they just have to keep moving. I don't care what it is. I teach people like everything is modifiable. There could be an exercise you're like, Janice, there's no way I can do that. Well, let's start small, because down the road you will be able to do it in some fashion. It might not look exactly like the way I do it, but that's okay. But guess what? I also have to modify almost everything I do. I have a bum left knee. So guess what? I modify stuff for my knee. I have wrists that don't like to always function nicely, and then I get my elbows aren't the best all the time.
Right? Stuff just breaks down.
It does, because we get older, just breaks.
Right.
So you just modify it and it's okay. And it's like everything. We just have to move. We have to move. Otherwise, if you don't use it, you will lose it. That is a very true fact. And I'm so sad for your dad that 74 years old, there's just no way.
Yeah, he play golf and he says things like, no way. But anyway, grumpiness is something he could change. I got some questions from my audience for you. Can I run through a couple?
Yeah.
All right. So one is Jay is 69 years old. What's the minimum amount of time he should be exercising weekly? How many days do you recommend? Healthy 69-year-old.
Healthy 69-year-old.
Good blood.
Well, honestly, work up to 5 days a week of exercise. And when I say that, though, you're doing different things. Where 2 to 3 days per week you spend strength training. You are doing at least 1 day of like a mobility class, anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. And that could be incorporating a little bit of yoga in there. You could be doing classes like I do 20, 25 minutes with the swing trainer. I incorporate those into my every workout. At the same time, if you wanted, you could just have, do 20 minutes of a swing trainer type of thing class. But stretching should be done basically every day. And think about it. How many of you, and think about when I say this, how many of you watch TV and they're sitting on the couch? If that's the case, you can roll out a mat onto the floor, do some stretches because you want to watch golf. That's fine. Cool. But sit there on the mat and do some stretches to go along with it. You'll sleep better at night, for one thing, and you won't wake up as stiff and sore as well if you do that. Oh, and foam roll. Oh, see, when we get older, we have to do so much crap.
Not at all.
And I'm being honest, but foam rolling goes into every one of my workouts. I come home from playing golf and I get on the foam roller just to help getting out the lactic acid and I'm just not as spry as I used to be. So I have to do a little bit more. But 69 years old, it's going to be the same thing. But again, to start out with something, start with 3 days a week and work up to getting into the 5 days a week. But definitely strength training 2 to 3 times a week.
Should the 2 days off be consecutive or separate?
I like to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then still do some kind of activity on Saturday, Sunday. That doesn't mean like lay on the couch all weekend watching football.
Okay. Amber's a personal trainer, and she said, "What's your biggest challenge for coaching older athletes into fitness?"
My biggest challenge, sometimes, well, I'm going to say time for a lot of those people and just getting them and motivation on, like I had a client call yesterday and she's a little bit older. She's an athlete. And for her, sometimes it's actually motivation. I think because she spent so long always exercising and now she just sometimes wants a break. But that's when we have to find out what works best for that client. And maybe we just need to change things around. We don't have to have the exact same routine every single week, every month. And it's always important to find what activity do you like?
Yep.
Cross training is one of the best things you can do. And that way you don't get bored and you'll stay motivated.
All right. JC is a pretty decent golfer from Brooklyn. He's kind of cute too. And he wants to know if he should start doing anything at 43 to prepare for golf in his 60s.
Oh, heck yeah. JC should be doing strength training. I have a very common theme.
I am, but I don't have your knowledge. Tell me about my strength training.
So the thing is, when we said that, this is really just being serious. In all honesty, like if we don't use it, we are going to lose it. Cardio is great. We have to walk, we have to walk for heart health. If you want to walk and play golf, yes, you have to practice, like literally practice walking. And our bodies need that movement. Our bodies are made to move. But one of the things that we lose as we get older, we lose strength, we lose balance, and we lose mobility and flexibility. We have to make sure that we are doing something for those three things each and every week as we get older. And you will notice, and the interesting thing, especially about balance, and obviously we need balance in golf for sure. And as we get older, all of a sudden it's like you literally wake up and go, holy crap, I just don't have quite the balance that I used to. Or, in my golf fitness course, one of the fitness assessments is standing on one leg. How well does your client do that? And personal trainers will be shocked at how people cannot stand on one leg. And for any length of time, especially then once you close your eyes, it's something, try it when we're finished. Just stand on one leg and then close your eyes with your knee raised up to 90 degrees. And you'll find that you're pretty much going to tip over pretty quickly. But yeah, so those are the three things you really need to work on: the strength, balance, and mobility.
Yeah, I do. And one of the things that helps do that when I work with my doctor is making sure that my testosterone levels, that I stay on top of that now. At 35, I didn't think it was a thing. At 30, and they told me it was a thing. Now at 43, I know it's a thing. I just want to tell my audience, because they brought it up also. So yeah, testosterone is important, and doctor told me that vitamin D and magnesium are absolutely vital to making sure. So I don't know how everybody feels about testosterone supplements and shots. That's none of my business here. I just know that in any drugstore you can get vitamin D3 and magnesium to help you. For us male golfers, as we get older, that loss in free testosterone is real. I felt it over the last couple of years, but with great help and support from knowledgeable people, I've been able to combat it, and I feel better than I did when I first learned it existed. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody who's starting to feel those effects.
Absolutely. And vitamin D, gosh, if you, like here in Arizona, if you live in a sunny state, if you live in the South, get outside and get into the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime that the sun is shining, get outside, enjoy, allow it to, just like look at it, take it in, absorb all that you can, because the sun creates vitamin D within our bodies. And in any way we can do it naturally, we want to do that. So get out and get in the sun any chance you get.
Hey, we got my audience happy. I told everybody what I was going to be doing today, and they're lighting me up now.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, I want to ask you, JC, how often do you tweak your swing? Because you have Tiger back there.
Jeez.
Oh, no. Okay, here we go.
How often do Okay, so here's the deal. I learned how to play golf without any professional help. So if you had to imagine my game, I would like you to imagine Bubba Watson without the help he had.
Okay.
So I shape the ball all over the place. He usually is like, yeah, we got this yardage and that. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I got to add 10 because I'm swinging it 30 yards around the trees. And he doesn't want to know because when I tell him that kind of stuff and then I don't pull it off, it's going to be his fault. But okay, so seriously, we have in pro golf, I don't know how many pros call it this, but I have what's called my pressure swing. And I have my golf swings. I bring a lot of them to the table. I lay off my wrist for low draws. I cup my wrist for Jack Nicklaus style. I even have shots I call a Sevy. Like a Sevy is like a low bullet 6 iron. A Jack is a high cut, right? Like, so I have all these different swings that I bring because I'm playing a shot shape. Like I'm envisioning my ball has an eye. And watching it take off through its eye and land and roll to where I want it to be. I don't play golf with really a lot of technical stuff going on. I need a free swing. I learned when I worked with the first coach that wanted to give me a repeatable swing. He said, if you have a repeatable swing, you can repeat it under pressure. And I said, well, I'm on a golf course, dude. Like where I grew up was real pressure. Like we ran home from like mobs of 6 people trying to steal our book bags. Like that's pressure. The golf course is fun. Everything's fun. I don't really feel pressure. So he didn't really understand me like that. I had to find people who understood me. And like you see Tiger back there, like his dad and the Marines that trained him, they said, Tiger, nobody's firing bullets past your head on a golf course. There's literally nothing to be excited in that way of fear. There's nothing to be worried about, right? Have no fear of failure, no fear of success was his dad's biggest line. So my thing about tweaking my swing every day is that we can get better every day. Every day I can learn how to hit the high cut better. Every day I can learn how to hit a new shot. I mean, ever since seeing John Rahm hit the hole-in-one over the water at the Masters, I want that shot. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, those are definitely and I'm glad you asked that question because that's something I get asked quite a bit on LinkedIn. People ask me that quite a bit, like through DMs. They'll say, I changed my swing 2 years ago and I got to a 3 handicap. Should I change my swing again to get to scratch? And I always say the same thing. If you're below 5, and everybody out there who's below 5 handicap, listen up. It has nothing to do with your driver, okay? You need to make more putts.
Yep.
You need to make more putts. If you're at a 5, you need to make more. As my uncle used to say, he said, you're a putz if you think you don't need to make more putts. You have to make more putts. So I would love to see everybody, if they're really going to go from a single-digit handicap to a scratch golfer or even on the plus side, I would love to see you giving yourself a goal for how many 3-foot putts you make every time you go to a putting green.
Okay, I've got my new challenge because at our club, so I'm the last 2 years, I'm our senior ladies club champion.
Oh, nice.
And thank you.
Hi.
And but we have a new lady in town. Oh. And she's like a 2 handicap. I'm a 7 handicap. She's like a 2 or 3.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. So I'm a 7 without practicing. It's kind of fun.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm like, I told my husband, I go, well, there's someone in town that wants my parking spot and she's not going to get it. So I go, I guess I'm going to have to actually start practicing. But it's all short game for me. It's, I need to get better at chipping to get it closer. And then, like you said, make more putts. And that's the easy.
So I could say I've heard this over and over again. Whenever we do a mini tour event and somebody from the local press comes down the line and starts talking to the pros, they always ask, what's going to separate you today? And I swear that we all have like a pre-programmed answer. And I wish golfers would actually get better at being a little more personable on camera, which is why I have that business. That's another call. But I hear this all the time, and it's that we can all get to the green in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At the pro level, all of us can get to the green in regulation. We can get out of every greenside bunker to within 3 to 4 feet almost every time. Like, those are not hard shots for us. We practice them all the time. But if you make 27 out of 33 footers, you're probably not going to be on the leaderboard.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah, but 30 out of 30 is how many 3-footers you should make if you hit 100 of them a day in practice.
Okay. Oh, God, 100 a day?
Hey, think about this. If you set up 25 on each side of the hole,
okay,
it really doesn't take that long, Dennis, because most people don't take that long with their putting, especially when they're hitting the same putt over and over again.
That's true.
So it's really not a time consumer. And speaking of time consumers, hey, you and I prepared something for our audience. We
did.
You want a lightning round it?
Yeah, let's lightning round it.
I think we've had people almost an hour, right? You want to end it with the lightning round?
Let's end it with the lightning round because, yeah, we've been on for 45 minutes.
All right, perfect. I'm going to go first?
Sure.
All right. Janice, tell us what your brand would choose, Pebble Beach or Sawgrass?
Pebble Beach, just because I've played it. I haven't played Sawgrass.
Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus?
Okay, this one's so hard. I'm going to pick Arnie.
All right, we'll stand on the opposite side of that coin. Arnie's the king. All right, Brooks Koepka or Bryson DeChambeau? I'll do the eye roll for Brooks. Are you ready?
It is Brooks.
I knew it. All right, what's your favorite major?
Masters, even though it's the 5th major.
You know what? So it's great to hear Bobby Jones describe it, the championship of nothing.
Yeah, it's literally U.S. Open, I guess, would be my favorite if I'm picking out of the majors. But the one that I love watching the whole week before is the Masters. And I've had the pleasure to go on a practice round day, which was actually the best day I thought to go. And just to experience being there was beyond fabulous. And to be able, I wanted to lay down on the fairway because it seemed like it could be so cushiony and beautiful. And it was just such a cool course. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. Are you ready?
I know you put together some good ones for me. You're not going to let the pro off the hook. What do we got?
I'm not. So yours is Pebble Beach or Pinehurst?
Ooh. Audience, can we see them?
I'll go the other direction. There we go.
Pinehurst, North Carolina. My wife and I plan to retire there.
Nice. All right.
Pinehurst, without a doubt, one of the best places on the planet. I encourage you to go look at the Google Maps overhead if you don't think heaven is on earth.
Well, I get to go play in May. I'm excited.
Woo! Yes.
Gary,
make sure you make it to Tobacco Road.
I think we'll be doing that. Okay. Gary Player or Bernard Longer?
Ooh, Gary Player's the rant king. I love a good rant. I'm going to go with Gary Player, but I want Bernard Longer's senior tour career.
Absolutely.
But I want to be as genuine as I can my entire career, and nobody's better at that than Gary Player. I mean, when he went on and talked about what was the course in Oregon? It was completely a mess at the U.S. Open. That was just one of the best rants in golf history. So Gary Player for his great rants.
Well, and I will say both of those gentlemen are in super great shape for their ages. And that's kind of why I chose those two players, because there's someone to emulate as we get older. Okay, Ricky Fowler or Justin Thomas?
JT's swing and Ricky Fowler's endorsements.
There you go. And what is your favorite major? U.S. Open. All right, there we go. Yeah, so we got to go after the U.S. Open.
Of our country is my favorite, and I'll explain why. And usually when I do, I bring fans aboard. You ready? The United States Open is an arena of golf that exists for no other tournament ever on the planet. Please don't compare it to anything else, because the golf course is not a regular golf course. The bunkers aren't going to be regular bunkers. The speed is not going to be regular speed. It's a totally different arena, and it exists solely to find out who has it here, not who has it here.
Nice.
Okay? U.S. Opens are won by the strongest of heart. Plain and simple, which if you asked me Bryson or Brooks, I would have said Bryson for taking it out of the 8-inch rough at Winged Foot and winning the U.S. Open when everybody told him he couldn't do it that way.
Nice. Well, everyone, thank you so much, JC, Derek. This was way too much fun. Love it. I hope the listeners are going to love this as well. We will have to do this again.
Absolutely. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. And hey, if you live in a place you can play golf in January, do it.
Everyone have a great day.
You too, guys. Make time for your loved ones.
Bye.